Hello. I thought people might be interested in this new feature that's just been added to CPC Analyser. So it helps you find locations of memory that are potentially interesting for a particular game. So probably best to give an example. So here we've got Manic Miner running, and we've got 2 lives here. So we're going to look for all memory locations that have the value 2, because we'd imagine that that is what will be stored in memory to represent the number of lives we've got. So let's do that. So we search there, and this will now show us all memory locations that have value 2 at that point in time. Now you can see some of them don't have 2 anymore because they're actively being updated, so that's almost certainly not holding the number of lives. So best thing is if we try and kill ourselves, which is not hard in this game. So now we'd imagine that location to have the value 1. We've got this button here which removes all the memory locations that still have the value 2 in them, so that does that, and that leaves us with these. And you can see we've got this memory location here which has got the value 1 in it, and also based on this indicator here we can see it's currently being read, which is what you'd imagine for this kind of scenario where it's checking each frame to see if we've how many lives we've got. So if we take a look at that location, what we can do is we can test the theory by adding a watch, and what we can do is we can actually change that value and see what happens. Oh, look, we've got 8 lives now. So that's certain that that's the value in memory that holds the number of lives. So what we can do is we can rename that, call it something like num lives, maybe add a comment, number of lives. So now what you can do is you can look at how this memory location is referenced. So we can look at how it's written to. There's 2 places it's written to. There's this one, which it's setting that memory location to the value 2. So we're loading 2 into A, and then A gets loaded into there. So I would imagine that's the code that gets executed when you start a game. So that sets your initial number of lives. So we could put a comment there, set initial number of lives to 2. And the other piece of code, what it does is it loads the number of lives into A. I think, oh, I died there, you can see that, and that's this bit of code got executed. I think that's checking whether or not you've got any lives left, and then jumping to that if that's true. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that that's definitely decrementing the number of lives. So what we can do is we can NOP that out and then see what happens when we lose a life now. So yeah, it does nothing. So you basically activated a cheat there by NOPing that bit of code out. So I'll put that back in. Oh yeah, also it's worth pointing out that when this bit of code gets executed, you can see the indicators here that tell you that piece of code is being executed. So yeah, that's kind of handy. So if we go back to that other bit of code, where is it? So a bit of code here. So first we've got to kill ourselves. So maybe put a 0 in there. And then die. And that should... yeah, that gives us game over. Squish. So now, when you should see this bit of code get executed. I could put a breakpoint here, but I'll just watch it. So let's start the game. Come on, what's going on? Not sure what's happening there. Oh yeah, so that you saw that bit of code get executed there. So yeah, so that's an example of one way this feature could be used. I'll also demonstrate another in another game. So we've got Laser Squad here. Now I'll get to the loadout screen. So here we've got 200 credits, and if I search for 200 here, this gives us all memory locations that have got 200 in. Oh no, it doesn't. What's going on? 200. Is that set to... I need to set it to decimal, that's right. So, yeah, so these are all the memory locations have got 200 in. So what we can do is we can spend some credits and notice that our credits go down to 194. So you can see this value here is yellow because it's changed. If you watch that again, keep your eye on that, and then if I spend some more credits, you can see the indicators to show that it's being written to. So this is our credits location. So I can add a label to that by pressing L. So there we can say something like loadout screen credits. So yeah, and you'll see that value get decremented if I spend more. There we go. So we can also use it to find other stuff. So let's get into game. So let's deploy our guys here. 3, 4, 5. Yep. Okay, so let's find the first guy. Here he is. So it's Corporal John Lunn. So what I can do is I can go to select him, and it shows me I've got 58 action points. So let's find the value 58. How many memory locations? 58. Quite a few. What we can do is we can just use some action points just by moving forward. Doink. So now one of those locations should have 54, and you can see just there. It's the first one, it looks like. Or it could be that one. So I can just remove all the unchanged values, so it could be. It's one of these. Now maybe they're both got holding the number of action points. Maybe one of them is, let's have a look. So there's that one there, and that one there. I would guess that this is for each unit's action points, I would say that's probably the where that's stored. And maybe this one is like of what's being displayed on the screen. I don't know, but anyway. So what I do there is add a label. So unit 1 action points or something like that. And the same thing, you could look at how that is being used. I won't do it now, but here's all the places that's accessed, and this is where it's written to. Yeah, you could do the same for the next guy. So n move number. So here's the next guy. Select him. Now he's got 47 action points, so we can find 47. And then we can move 43. Or is that maybe that's a shared number of action points actually. Don't know. It does seem like that's the first guy's action points, and I think this is the, where was it? Here. I think that's the second guy's action points. So I can put a label in there. Unit 2 action points. So again, when I move him again, how can I move him? Oh, yeah, that went down to 29. So yeah, that's how you use this find feature to interrogate the game and find some information out that might have been difficult to find otherwise. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you later.